And what's the last thing I went over? Was I still going over homework problems?
You were going over you're like halfway through 2.3.
Well, I got some homework problems, so let me pull them up.
Oh, Iron Man, what?
Let's see. Okay. I can't remember if see, we got quite a few 2.3, so I'm just going to start at 2.3 and go through these questions. I can't remember if I deleted them or not, so y'all need to tell me if I covered them, okay?
Okay.
All right, this says number 5. I think I've covered these. Number 5, I think I covered that one, didn't I? Oh, yeah, we went through all the different kinds of elimination and substitution and all that.
Right.
So did we do 22 and 2? Let's see if we did that one. We did that one?
We did that one on the board.
Okay. So I'll take out number 5. Let me take that one out. Number 7. Did we do that one? Somebody look. I don't think we did that one.
I think we did.
I don't think we did because you got to rewrite it before you start it. And I don't remember doing that. Somebody look at the 2 or 3 we did. I don't think we did this one. All right, I don't think we did. Go ahead and start this one, and I want you to pick one method, any method you want, and do it. Okay? I'm going to use the identity matrix. So everybody do one method. Now you can do 2 if you want to, if you're an overachiever, but I'm just going to do 1. So I'm going to write it on the whiteboard so I'll have more room. Now, first of all, you need to rewrite it because I'm trying to mess with you a little bit. So that's going to be 7x plus 14y is equal to 21. And 6x plus 2y is equal to 6. Watch the dang old Las Vegas race this weekend. Everybody excited watching dirt.
Wait, what?
Whoa, what? Race?
NASCAR race.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
I don't watch Dale Earnhardt. Since Dale Earnhardt died, it ain't no fun to watch.
Exactly.
You got idiots like, and then you got loudmouths like Kyle Busch that says he's the greatest of all time.
Easy there.
He ain't even blister.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said that several times.
That's why he's got Eminem in his car.
Jeff Gordon's the best.
Yeah.
Pendleton, what's your synopsis on NASCAR?
It used to be good when it was
Yeah.
I don't know,
Used to.
early 2000s, and then now it's kind of, they put so many safety requirement things in there.
Well, they've done that, and they've also tried to make it diverse. NASCAR is 100% redneck Southern, and they've tried to make it. They've
Yeah.
tried to make it non-redneck Southern, and that ain't gonna happen.
Hey, I do think it's cool that NASCAR still prays before. That's the only big time sport that prays before.
Amen, Jake.
Well, they don't kneel and all that bull crap. So
Hey, that's right. That one guy does kneel and kiss them bricks every now and again.
you're supposed to do that after the race, Jay.
Oh my God.
I hated Colin Kaepernick for that.
Oh yeah.
So
I don't even
Martin
like
Truex
football.
won the race.
The stuff I got Nike.
Oh, okay.
But I don't buy no more Nike stuff.
Okay, nobody's interested. That's fine. I don't know.
Martin Truex Jr. That's his name.
I'm interested.
No, forget it. We'll just do math.
You ever been in the
Got one
NASCAR Hall of
group
Fame?
weaned on a pickle, and then got one group won't shut up. So one extreme to the other.
What does weaned on a pickle mean?
I don't know.
What is a pickle? Is it sour or is it sweet?
Sour,
What?
I guess.
It's sour. It's usually sour. When you get a pickle out of the pickle jar, it is sour or tart. All right? What does your mouth and your face do when you eat something tart or very sour? What does it do?
Pucker up.
You look like you weaned on a pickle. And that's what people look like that just sit there and don't talk. They look like they're weaned on a pickle. So Pendleton, you look like you weaned on a pickle.
Have you ever been to Bristol?
Yes.
I've been there.
I do not like Bristol. That's about like Watkins Glen. Why anybody would pay a ticket? I just
I went to the Tennessee Virginia Tech game in Bristol. Like,
No,
you didn't. I thought you were talking about the race.
That's awesome.
I went to a Bristol race, but I also went to a game that was in the Bristol Motor Speedway.
Bristol's like a demolition derby.
That's a fact.
So
I bet you
Okay.
don't miss the race at Greenville Pickens, do you?
no, I don't go. No, I don't go to. I don't go anywhere in Anderson. I don't go
This
out.
is it.
I don't leave the farm because I don't like stupid people.
I bet he's got a bunker just in case the government tries to take stuff.
All right, 7, 14, 21, 6. What'd you say, Jake?
Nothing.
What'd you say?
I said,
Share with the class.
I bet you got a bunker somewhere on your farm with 8 years worth of beef jerky stored up there, just in case the government does something you don't like.
No. No, I don't have that. I just got a bunch of steers that I can cut up and eat if I need to.
Fair enough.
I got enough ammunition to last me at least 3 or 4 years, though.
That's right.
And I got enough steers. You know that in Texas there was a man that killed his family with a stick. So we need to ban sticks. So if you got any sticks, Jake, we need to get rid of them. Because sticks kill.
I
Yes.
got a lot of them.
Hey, I got my CWP this weekend. Well, I took the class.
That means you're a racist. All right, so what do we do to get rid of, what do we do to get a 1 where that 7 is? Row 1 divided by 7. That gives us 1, 2, 3, 6, 2, 6. Now what do we need in the 6th spot?
0.
So we need row 1 multiplied by -6, add it to row 2 to get new row 2. -6, -12, -18. 6, 2, 6 gives us 0. What's -12 plus 2?
-10.
And what's -18 plus 6?
-12.
So that'll give us new row 2. So 1, 2, 3, and 0, -10, and -12. Now how do we get rid of that -10 and get a 1 there?
Divide by -10.
Divide by -10. And that's going to give us 1, 2, 3, and 0, -10. That's going to give us a +1. And that's going to give us a -3/2. Somebody help me out. No.
Negative,
6/5.
yeah.
-6/5 or 6/5. Somebody check me. Now, how do I get a 0 here? Row 1 or row 2 multiplied by -2 add it to row 1 to give us new row 1. So that's going to be row 2, 0, negative 2, negative 12 fifths. Add it to row 1, 1, 2, and that's going to be what, 15 fifths? So that's going to give us 1, 0. What's negative 12 plus 15?
Yes.
So our answer is 1, 0, 3 fifths, 0, 1, and 6 fifths. Now let's check it with either substitution or elimination. So I'm going to give y'all a minute to write that down for those that are in a vegetative state.
Is 6 fifths is an hour.
What's negative 12 plus 15? Oh, whoa, hold on. Where did I get 6 fifths? Okay. Well, it's negative 12. Yeah. No, negative divided by negative 10. Negative 12 divided by negative 10. See it up top? Negative divided by negative is positive. We'll check this. I'm not worried about it being wrong because we're going to check it with elimination. I'm going to use elimination because I really don't like substitution. So has everybody got this written down? So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to erase this. And I'm just going to start off with elimination. Do we have an opposite sign anywhere? No. So I'm going to make one. So 7x plus 14y is equal to 21, and 6x plus 2y is equal to 6. Does anybody have an idea what I'm going to do? Anybody want to guess?
Find a common, least common, or not.
No, I know what you're saying there. What am I going to do that? I've got 4 possibilities. I can multiply by this. I can multiply by that. I've got 4 possibilities. Which one do you think I'm going to do?
You could multiply the second line by negative 7.
That's what I'm going to do. Good. Why am I going to do that? Why don't I pick the other 3?
Because this one is small.
It's the smallest unit, and it's also the easiest. So I'm going to multiply the bottom by a negative 7. And that will get rid of what term? The y term. So 7x plus 14y equals 21, and negative 42x minus 14y is equal to negative 42. Everybody with me? And of course the 14y's go out, and that leaves you with 7 minus 42 is what? Negative 35? Somebody help me out.
Yeah.
Negative 35x is equal to negative 21 divided by 35 divided by 35. X is equal to, is that negative? Divided by negative 35, sorry. And that's going to be what?
3 fifths.
3 fifths. What did we get in the previous screen?
3 fifths.
It's a miracle. It's supposed to be
That's
positive.
positive.
Is mine is supposed to be positive?
Yeah.
Yeah, positive. Thank you. Okay, now, back substitute. I'm going to back substitute into this one. So that's going to give us 6x, or 6 times 3 fifths plus 2y is equal to 6. 18/5 plus 2y is equal to 30/5 minus 18/5. What's 30 minus 18?
12.
12/5. So that's 2y is equal to 12/5. Divide by 2 over 1, multiply by 1 over 2, and I get 12/10, which is 6/5. So I guess I'm right because I did it both times, both ways, and I got the same answer. And you will get several of these on the test, so make sure you know how to do them. And you can use any method you want. Question, gripe, complaint.
So do we have to do the identity matrix?
It's only if you want to.
Okay.
No, but I can make it mandatory if you want me to.
Oh, no, I'm good.
And I don't know, what did I get for X? I don't forgot, 3/5 or what?
Okay.
Negative 3/5 or what?
Positive.
3/5
Yeah, positive.
and then 6/5. All right, so that's that one. So that's number 7. So let's delete that one. 8. Feel like I'm doing y'all's homework for you.
I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, this one you might as well not even do. Why?
Got
Besides decimals.
decimals.
Yeah.
That 0.3, run away.
No, what you do is you multiply everything by 10.
10.
Why? To clear the fraction. So you don't have to depend on what? Calculator.
Calculator.
So you won't be a cashier that don't know how to make change or spell mom backwards. So multiply everything by 10. So I'm going to multiply this top one by 10. And that'll give me 3x plus 7y is equal to 23. And then the bottom is 5x minus 2y is equal to 11. Now you got the same problem you had before. Now, which one am I going to get rid of, the x or the y's?
The y,
The y's. Why?
because there's a negative.
It's got an opposite sign. So I'm going to multiply the top by 2, the bottom by 7. All right, go to it. I'm going to let y'all do the elimination. I'm going to go through and do, what you call it? 3, 7, 23, 5, negative 2, and 11. That's going to be 1, 7 thirds, 23 thirds, 5, 2, 11. Row 1, multiply by negative 5, add it to row 2, get new row 2. Row 1 by negative 5 is going to be negative 5, negative 35 thirds, and negative 130 over 3. And that's going to be a 5, and that's going to be a 6, negative 6 thirds, and that's going to be 33 thirds. So that's going to be 0, negative 41 thirds, and, all right, what is that? 20. What's so funny?
Nothing.
Well, you gotta share.
Garrett's Garrett.
Yeah,
All
share,
right.
sharing, Jay.
So before this class, I went to the bathroom
Okay, that's okay. We don't care. That's
I want to
fine.
hear it now.
We're good.
It's pretty funny.
Oh yeah, get into something grotesque and nasty, and Pendleton wants to hear it.
Just long story short,
Talk
I
about
sneezed.
something that betters your life, and Pendleton sits there like you're waiting on a pickle. You ever seen the SpongeBob episode of Krabby Land where SpongeBob gets run over and obliterated and the kids laugh at him? That's Pendleton. That's the Pendleton campus. Oh, his head got cut off. Oh. 1 7/3, 23/3, 0, negative 41/3, negative 97/3. What?
Yeah, someone's right.
Oh, question, yes.
When you multiply the top equation by 10, why do you do the bottom one?
So
I know-
they're separate equations. All you're doing is clearing. When you clear the decimal, are you changing the mathematics of it? No. Okay? What's the difference in 0.5 and 1/2? Nothing. Okay? All I'm doing is I'm just moving that decimal to the right. Now, if I just did 10 times 3 and 7 and didn't multiply by that 2.3, that's illegal. You can't do that.
Oh, snap.
All you're doing is just changing the appearance of it.
Yeah.
You're not changing it mathematically. You see what I'm saying?
So they're separate equations.
That to be the same.
Yeah, you don't have to multiply the bottom. This is a person. That's a person. You can't you're just changing the appearance of this. Okay, you don't have to do both of them, no.
Okay.
I mean, you can, but there would be, now if both of them are decimals, yes. But if it ain't broke,
Fix. Don't fix.
don't fix it. Thank you for whoever finished that sentence. That tells me that your parents did a good job.
I always thought like we'd have to go back and then times it by 10 again to get it correct.
Nope.
But that makes sense now. Like, wait.
All right, I'm going to multiply by negative 3 over 41. That's going to knock that out. So I'm going to get 1 7/3 and 23/3 and 0, 1. And the 3's will cancel. What's 97 over 41? Is that? No. So that's going to give us 97 over 41. So now I'm going to take row 1 or row 2, multiply row 2, multiply by negative 7/3, add it to row 1. That's going to give me new row 1. So row 2, that's going to be negative 0, negative 7/3, and let's see, that's going to be row 2, 7. Good gracious. So that's 7 times 100 is 700 minus 21. 700 minus 21 is 679. So that's going to be 679. Somebody check my math. 97 times 7 over 41 times 3 is 123. I'm going to add that to row 1. 1 7/3 and 97 over 41. Good gracious, that's nasty. 0 or 1, 0, and I got to find a common denominator, which is going to be a mess. So
3 or 120.
I think the easiest way would be without a calculator, do elimination. But somebody tell me, did you get your y? Did you get 97 over 41?
No.
You didn't? Then I must have done something wrong. What's 97 divided by 41?
97 or 41.
Yeah, it doesn't simplify.
No, what's the decimal? What is it?
It's like 2.3.
Okay, what did somebody get? Does somebody get y is equal to 2.3? You didn't? Okay, I must have done something wrong. So that's why you always have a second. You always have a second. We see that the elimination, it gets into real nasty work, that last couple of steps.
Right.
So let's go back and let's do elimination as a backup, unless you just like whips and chains and you like to, the punishment, knock yourself out. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to multiply this and let's see if we get a little bit better outcome. So that's going to be 6x plus 14y is equal to 46, and 35x minus 14y is equal to 77. 14s go out, you get 41x is equal to 123,
Yes.
and divide by 41,
Yep.
and that looks like 3.
Yep.
Okay.
That's what I
Yeah,
got.
X is equal to 3. All right, so take that and back substitute. So that's going to be 3 times 3 plus 7y is equal to 23. 9 plus 7y is equal to 23. Minus 9, 7y is equal, what's 23 minus 9?
14.
14, and y is equal to 2.
Oh, see, that's fine.
Now, the reason I show different methods is because one method you can go into and it's like, walking on hot coals. So you might want to start using a second method to fall back on, and you can use whichever method you want to.
That's crazy how it's like that.
Yeah, that's why you have a screwdriver versus a hammer in your toolbox. Same concept.
I always told you only need one or the other, not both.
I knew he was going to step in with Mr. Smartass. -2. Always got something to say.
It's 2. It's
He's
just regular.
got the party that won't shut up, aren't you, Jay?
It's just
No.
2.
I don't go to parties.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be positive.
Oh, you don't go to parties, Jake? Well, you're a good, wholesome boy. Good job.
I mean, I do if I'm the designated driver.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, same.
Then I just stay home if I'm not, and I read my Bible.
Yeah. You don't play with your guns and, shoot little animals or,
Squirrels.
I mean, I do.
You're a racist. Okay, let's delete that. 8, 14.
I'm the best squirrel hunter there ever was.
14. Okay. I think we've done that enough. I think we've done that enough. Let's move on. 14. Dang, number 2. It just comes out of nowhere. What does it look like? Is it the same?
Yeah.
Okay. I think everybody's got this now. Okay, number 2, number 15. I think we've done number 15.
I think I got this.
So,
I know I got that.
Yeah, that's substitution, isn't it? No, graphical method. Yeah, that's graphing. Same thing.
yeah.
Next. 16, we've done that. I'm looking to see if we got like a 22. Okay, 22. Let's see what that one looks like. Okay, there's a test question. We hadn't done a word problem. So half of you will probably what? Give up. Good. Why? Because it's got words with it. Yeah, exactly. It's already difficult. I don't know if I'll be able to do it. Sarah Meeham, Glenn's Coffee for Tasty Delight. She needs to prepare 140 pounds of coffee beans selling at $3.77 per pound. She plans to do this by blending together high quality beans with cheap beans. Find out how much she needs to do. All right, first of all, what's the total poundage? X plus Y is equal to 140. That's one of the first things you do on these solution problems. This is called a solution problem. That right there is x plus y is equal to 140. Okay, she's going to combine 2 sets of beans for 140 pounds. And then this goes with this down here. So that'd be 377 times 140. And now you do the different types. So that's going to be 475x plus $2 of y. Now go ahead and simplify it. You could multiply by 100, the second one by 100, if you want to, but I would probably use the calculator on this one. So somebody go ahead. What is 3.77 times 140? 527.8.
Yes, sir.
And that's 4.75x plus 2y is equal to that. I would probably get rid of the 2, the y's. Why? Easy math. Multiply this top by what? Negative 2. And that's going to be negative 2x minus 2y is equal to negative 280. And of course, the 2's go out. $4.75 minus $2 is $2.75. Equals 5. Let's see, that's going to be 8, 7, 4, and 2. Somebody check my math.
That's what I got.
And somebody take a calculator and divide 247.8 by 275, please.
90.11.
So X is equal to 90.11 pounds. And now you just plug back in. Somebody take 140 minus 90.11.
50.
109 or 109 point, I'm sorry. I don't know what it's called. What is it?
49.8.
49.89. That should be your answer.
Wait, so what?
That's round.
It says round to the nearest pound, so that's 90 pounds and 40 and 50 pounds. 90 and 50.
So we put both of those in.
Now I don't know. I'm 90 and
They don't
50.
ask.
There you go. And that is a test question. On any chemistry, math, business, you will always get one of these. Okay? Always. So that's a good question. Whoever sent it. Good test question. Next. 17. I think we've covered all of those. I think we've covered those also.
I don't think we've done 17.
Say again?
I don't think we've done 17.
Okay. Hold on.
Did he just
What I have.
Is that the one I just took off?
That was yesterday. Go
No, we're not on 5.6, are we?
up.
Well, I don't know why.
I don't know where.
Why is that noise? What is that noise?
The classroom beside us laughing.
Oh, they're having fun. Golly.
Yeah, I don't think they're from around here.
Yeah.
See, people in Pendleton can have fun.
Pendleton, do y'all have fun?
Wow.
Too conflicting.
At least they're honest.
Good gracious alive. Okay, I can't find it, so I'm sorry. I don't know where it went. I guess it went to Never Never Land. 109. Okay, now that was 2.3. Let's look at the outline and let's look and see. I guess we go to 2.4. I want to see what we do next. 109. Where's 109? There it is. And we all know that our outline is most important. That's why we keep it with us all the time, right, Jake?
Of course.
Yeah.
Don't go home without it. Or don't
Yeah.
leave home without it.
And 2.4, just making sure. Yeah, oh my goodness. Look what we're getting close to.
Come on.
Course tools. Let's go
I
to,
can't wait.
you what?
I can't wait for our test.
Yeah, I'm sure. Why you say that, Jake?
Because I'm going to ace it.
You really think that? Okay.
I do. I'm going to miss one of your bonus questions wrong on purpose just to piss you off. Get you fired up.
Don't piss me off. It just tells me you're going to be on live PD one day.
Like, I'm going to say you was in the Air Force. Or the Army. Look at it getting fired up.
The Navy's even worse.
No, the Army is the worst.
Army's the worst.
Yeah, don't.
I thought the Air Force gets a bad rap.
No, they just have maids to clean up behind them. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go ahead and inequalities. Now, what is the difference between an inequality? An inequality gives you a set. What do you mean a set? Well, I'm going to show you. And I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of people get confused when you talk about inequalities because then you have to worry about writing in set builder notation and interval notation. Now, if I do a problem, 2x plus 5 is equal to 7. And I solve this. 2x is equal to 2, x is equal to 1. This is what we call a solution. A solution means that something is equal to a number, okay? And that number is the only one that will work in the equation. You can plug in 1 and it will work. But any other number, it what? It won't work. And that's what you've been doing for the last 5 or 6 years as far as algebra. You've been finding the solution. There is nothing but one number that will work in this equation. One number. Now, inequality gives you a solution. Anybody know the next word? A solution set.
Oh, I was right on two of my
A
thumbs.
solution set is numbers that will work in the equation. So I can give you that same problem. And now I do 2x plus 5 is greater than 7. I'm sorry. 2x is greater than 2. And then x is greater than what? 1. Now this is what we call a solution set. A solution set gives us numbers that we can use in the inequality. So I can pick 3. 2, 3 plus 5 is greater than or equal to 7. 2 times 3 is 6 plus 5 is greater than or equal to 7. 11 is greater than or equal to 7. True or false? True. So the difference between an inequality and an equality is an inequality will give you a what? A solution set. Now, with a solution set, you have to be able to do the following. With a solution set, always be ready to graph it, interpret it, and write in interval or set builder notation. Those are the three things that you need to be able to do when you get a solution. A lot of people can solve these problems fine, but when they do the graphing and their head explodes. All right, so, and you're going to be dealing a lot with this because a lot of companies, how many units does a company need to produce before it starts to lose money? Or at most, or very least, you're going to be using these a lot. So, you solve the equation. Always remember to try to keep the variable positive. Always try to do that. Because if you have to divide through by negative, you have to switch the what? The inequality. There's two steps. You have to divide through by negative, and then you have to flip the inequality. Not always, 10% of the time you're going to have to do that. The other 90%, you can make the variable positive and not have to worry about those last two steps. So, I'm going to multiply through by 5. Why am I going to do that? Why am I going to multiply? Why am I going to multiply through by 5? Try to say that fast.
To get rid of the fraction.
To get rid of the fraction. Unless you want to use the fraction and therefore have to depend on the calculator and eventually get it wrong. So 25x minus what? 1 is less than or equal to negative 10 plus what? 5x. Now you solve. Bring the 5x over. Bring the 1 over. And you get 20x is less than or equal to, what is negative 10 plus 1? Divide by 20. Divide by 20. X is less than or equal to negative 9 over 20. Now, 90% of you will do that without any problems. It's the next couple of things that y'all screw up. Okay? So I did the solution set. Graphic. Number line. Okay, so where that came from. Nine over 20 is about like 10 over 20, which is what? A half. So we know it's around 1/2. So I'm going to put a 1 here and a negative 1 here. 1/2 is about right here, so we're going to mark it right here. And I'm going to shade everything to what side? To the left. This arrowhead down here is called negative infinity. This arrowhead right here is called positive infinity. Which way do we read? So interval notation, left side is negative infinity. Right side is what? 9. Ah, shoot. Negative 9. Sorry. Now everybody's supposed to say, oh yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
I don't want to embarrass you like that.
What?
I didn't want to embarrass you by
Yeah,
saying
exactly. Yeah, whatever.
that. Love you, mean it.
Yeah, and all the Pendleton campus was, yeah, I wondered what was going on. But I ain't gonna damn say nothing.
What is that notation? What notation?
Interval.
Interval.
Interval notation. So negative infinity to negative 9 over 20, and that gets a bracket. That's interval notation. So you need to, and most algebra teachers, including me, rather you write that's what we'd rather you write it in, interval notation. But you got to write it in both because of testing, and you got to be able to do both. Set builder notation is real simple. Set builder notation, you just erase your circle here. And I'm going to put it in blue. You just put an X in front of it and a line and put braces around it. That's set builder notation. So you should be able to solve it. You should be able to graph it. You should be able to interpret it by putting a shaded highlighter on it and say, okay, the numbers that are less than 9 over 20 is to the left. And then make sure you can make sure you can write what you just graphed. Now, in order for you to understand this, you need to remember that when you're using these guys, you're going to be using an open circle or parentheses. When you're using these guys, that means you're going to use what kind of circle? A shaded or a closed circle. And not parentheses, but what?
Bracket.
Brackets. Why? Because
Closed dot.
an open circle means that I can't use that number. So it means exclusive. Brackets and a closed circle means that I can use that number. So that means inclusive. Now, in order for you to be able to understand graphing and set builder, interval notation, you have to remember this. And remember, positive and negative infinity always gets parentheses. Why? Why does positive and negative infinity always get parentheses? Simple. Give me the number that represents infinity. You can't do it. So therefore, you have to leave it open because you don't know what the last number is. Next.
And that negative that you have there for both of them, that's not negative. That's just,
No, that's a dash.
Just a dash. Okay.
Yep. No sneezing in class, please. All right, they're putting it in interval notation and graphing it. All right. For an electric reading device, the weekly revenue, blah, 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 where X is the number of units, for what levels of production will a profit result? Okay, let me ask you a question. Revenue is what you bring in, right?
Yeah.
Cost is what you pay what?
Pay out.
So how do you understand what is profit? Profit is when you basically subtract one from the other, okay? Now, you can set this one, the revenue, greater than the what? The cost. There you go. There's your formula right there, or your equation. So I want you to solve this one. 275x greater than 150x plus 12,000. Solve that. I want you to graph it. Then I want you to interpret it, meaning shade, and then I want you to write it in interval notation. So, 275. What's $2.75 minus $1.50?
$1.25.
What? $1.25, right? Should be. 1.125 x is greater than 12,000. Now take your handy dandy calculator and divide by 125. X is greater than what?
96.
96.
96. So we take our handy dandy. We know this is negative infinity. We know this is positive infinity. Negative 1,000. Positive 1,000. Open circle. And we will shade it. To the left or to the right?
Great, to the right.
To the right.
That's too
So write that in, sorry to bore you. So write that interval notation. Which way do we read? Left to right, we hit 96, and then we go to what? Positive infinity. So profit will occur, what is R? Or X, what is X? It says it in there, where X is the number of units, widgets. 96 widgets. If we make 100, we're going to be in the green. If we make 1,000, we'll be in the green. If we make 92, we're going to be in the red. Now, I want you to write this problem down, and I want you to put a star beside it, because in Math 130, this is what you do. And you got to also take the first and second derivative and all that good stuff. So, make sure you know how to do this stuff. Very basic. This is a very basic problem. You're going to see more of it. When a dog has a temperature of over 101, shoot it. I'm sorry. If it is said to have a fever, what Celsius temperature reading would indicate a fever for a dog? When a dog has 100 temperature of 101 is said to have a fever. What's Celsius temperature? Well, okay, they got to give you this because I can't remember it.
It's not Russians.
And you're going to set what?
Only Russians.
Yeah, Russians remember that because they live in Siberia. But anyway, 9/5 C plus 32 is greater than or equal to 101. And solve it.
38 thirds.
So solve it.
Yeah, so.
So I'm going to multiply by 5.
Oh.
Why am I going to multiply by 5?
Get rid of it.
I want to get rid of the fraction so I don't have to depend on a calculator so I can make change one day. So I'm going to multiply through by 5. And that's going to give me 9C plus 140 greater than 505. Somebody check, see if No,
160.
160, thank you. Minus 160, minus 160. So 9C greater than or equal to 345 or 335? Which one is it?
45.
345?
Third.
You got it.
And 9 divided by 9. So the Celsius temperature has to be going into, let's see, 40,
38.
30, no, that'd be 30, 38.
38.3 repeat.
38 and a third.
So if your dog has a 40 degree, you need to shoot it.
Old Yeller, that thing.
I don't care for dogs, but I don't go around shooting them either. My mother loves dogs, but her last one died, so we dogless now.
You need to get her another one.
Huh?
You gotta do what you gotta do, Jake.
Jake, I'm at the point in my life to where I don't want to take care of everybody.
Come on, reach.
I don't want to take care of dogs, cows, pigs. I'm about ready to sell everything I got. I'm about
How
ready.
many cows you got?
Get me too many to take care of. I need to sell all of them. Get me an apartment. That's what I need. Get me an apartment. Have a little patch of grass. It only take me like 3 or 4 swipes with a lawnmower.
Push mower.
Yeah, push mower. That's what I need. Can you
Biggie's got
imagine
some
me in an
nice
apartment
apartments.
building? That wouldn't work out very well. As soon as I met the stupid neighbor, I'd probably hit him in the mouth. Pop, pop. Look at there, we got it right. 38.3 degrees.
How many acres you live on?
Too many.
Oh, Nyack.
Too many for me to take care of.
Very short one.
All right, Angus.
Angus, baby.
All right, now,
Grass.
do this one. I'll let y'all do this one, and you got to graph it, shade it, and then write it in set builder notation and interval notation. I'd clear the fraction first. Or you can do the calculator drill team. You can do that if you want to.
Now, do you do 2 different multiplications?
Multiply through by 40,
That's what I was thinking.
the common denominator. Now, Pendleton, you got to admit, this class is a little bit more interactive than your other classes, isn't it?
A few of them, yeah.
Nothing. Just one person. And they're going to beat the crap out of him when he goes out in the hallway. Because he's not supposed to be talking. Damn you.
He ain't even got to make it out of the hallway. We'll just put the cover over the camera.
Well, I'm going to tell you, you wait. He's going to walk out there and they're going to stomp him. They're going to gang up on him because he's talking. He's not supposed to talk to me. Oh, me. What gets me is I have these classes and they won't talk to me, but they put on the evaluation or they put on the thing, I love this class. And I'm like, what? You didn't say anything during the whole class.
I thought you didn't look at those things.
I don't look at rate my professor.
Oh.
Would you rather me put like worst class ever? I hate it.
No, then you'd be lying because I'm great. All right, multiplied by what? 40? Multiply through by 40? You walk right into that one. All right, 40.
You are the best math 109
Oh, be
teacher I've ever
quiet.
had.
Just be quiet. 40 divided by 5, Jake, it's really sad, okay? 5x plus 2 greater than 5 times 4x minus 7. Now, hopefully all of you see what I did. I skipped a couple of steps, but
The only thing, so You did 40 because 40 is a common.
denominator.
Right.
You always whenever you want to clear a fraction, you multiply through by the common denominator. You sure you got that one out? That yawn, you got it out? You sure you don't want to do it a little bit louder?
Sorry.
Dang old etiquette, dang old book. All right. 40x plus 16 greater than 20x minus what? 35? I'm going to take the 20x over. Going to take the 16 over. Minus. That's going to give me 20x greater than or equal to negative 51. Somebody check me.
Oh, yeah. That's what I got.
Draw our handy dandy. Well, what is 50 over 25?
2.
2. So we know this is around negative 2, right? So we're going to put 0 here, and a negative 2 here, and a positive 2 here. This is called positive infinity. This is called negative infinity. Now somebody tell me what 51 divided by 20 is.
Negative 2.55.
Okay, 2.55. So we're going to put a closed circle right there. And we're going to shade which ones are greater than, yes, x is greater than, which numbers are greater than negative 2 point whatever. Everything to the what?
Right.
Everything to the right. Which way do we read? Left to right. You hit the number, negative 5120, bracket, comma, positive infinity. Parentheses. If you want to write it, set builder notation, x such that x is greater than or equal to negative 51 over 20, close braces.
When do you get to the situation where you have to flip the sign?
Yeah.
What is that?
Like, when do you have to do
You
that?
should do that when you multiply.
I'll tell you, I'll show you. The only time I ever have to do that is when I'm given one like this. Other than this, you don't have to worry about it because you can actually manipulate it. The only time that you have one, and I'm writing on this board because I don't have time to flip to the other board, is when you have this.
Oh, 2.
That's the only time that you cannot manipulate the x. So I'm not going to go through the other ones because I tell my students I do not teach put the variable on the left-hand side. I don't do that, okay? I don't do that because that's silly. So I don't teach having a negative variable. But I do teach when you get this, you have to divide through by what? Negative 1. And that makes this a 2. Flip this. X. Flip this. Negative 5.
Keep changing.
That's the only time you will see me as a teacher divide through by negative. The other times, I'm going to manipulate and move the smallest x, and therefore I'll have a positive variable. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Whoever asked it? Okay, let me look at the time before y'all start convulsing. Somebody's already started zipping. Good gracious, people. I'd hate to be like Dr. Gobati and go to 11:09 or whatever time. What time's class start? 11. I've got, last time I checked, I've got like 5 minutes. I think that irritates me more than using the phone in class. Yeah. Now, if I say pack up, then pack up. So, y'all go ahead and pack up now. You're welcome.
Thank you.
I know I'm awful. I just, want courtesy. That's all I want. That's all I ask for. I know that's a lot to ask for, but,
Yeah.
How many people y'all got up there, Pendleton, so I can count, see if anybody's missing?
We got everyone
I
today.
got everybody.
Are you sure?
100% sure.
Well, I really don't care about attendance, so I'm just gonna mark everybody here. All right, Pendleton, y'all can go. Oconee, Easley, y'all can go, and we missing one here. Okay, I'm just gonna count everybody here. Y'all have a good one.
I'm present.
Work on 2.4 now. What's coming up?
Test.
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 Coming up. See ya.
Hey, love you, bye.